Boris Johnson has been urged to tear up the UK's withdrawal agreement with the EU after the bloc's disastrous attempt to break the law to seize more COVID vaccines. Brussels backed down on its threat to override part of the Brexit deal on Northern Ireland after facing brutal condemnation over its threat to impose export controls on life-saving vaccines. The Prime Minister warned European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen of his grave concerns over Brussels' move to invoke Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol to disrupt the flow of jabs from the bloc into the region on Friday. The move came as the bloc ramped up its row with pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca over shortfalls in the delivery of jabs. Former MEP Martin Dobney furiously warned the bloc should never, ever be forgiven for breaking the law to suit them. He wrote on Twitter, "Yesterday was an utterly disastrous day for the EU. They invoked Article 16, which placed a hard border to Northern Ireland. They completely abandoned the UK during a global pandemic and violated legal contracts. This should never, ever be forgiven. Shame on them." He added the EU showed its true colors for not regretting its actions. To be clear, the EU does not regret their actions. They just regret getting caught. Brexiteers have been pointing out the EU routinely breaks the law when it suits them. We were chastised for this. Yesterday, it became clear for the world to see, in its darkest hour. Ms. von der Leyen said she had spoken to Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin to agree on a satisfactory way to introduce an export authorization mechanism for vaccines. And she said she had held constructive talks with Mr. Johnson. As she said, "We agreed on the principle that there should not be restrictions on the export of vaccines by companies where they are fulfilling contractual responsibilities." A Number 10 spokesman said, "The UK government is urgently seeking an explanation from the European Commission about the statements issued by the EU today and assurances as to its intentions."